Back again. Alright, I've been trying to record another video for the past like week and a half or so, and I feel like it's been forced, and hopefully this one won't feel forced, because I kind of was trying to think of the next thing I wanted to talk about, and that's really what felt forced. But then yesterday, it kind of came to me. But yeah, I want to talk about self, and I kind of wanted to like break that down for a second, because I think about this a lot. There are a lot of times, especially when I've been going through things, people will ask me like, what is your purpose? Kind of making it seem like because I'm unhappy or I'm going through things in my life, it's because I'm not serving my purpose, or I don't have a purpose, or that I'm confused of what really my life is about. And I do think that's a piece of that. But one thing I think that's really important is for us to understand self. And really sparked my wanted to talk about this topic was the other day. I can't remember who I was talking to, what we were talking about, and how we got to this. But basically, we're talking about feelings and emotions. And one thing to me, I feel like from a lot of the people that I've talked to, that whether it's male or female, but especially men, no offense, you know what I'm saying, please do not take offense to what I'm about to say, but we have a tendency to feel like, number one, emotions are weak. Number two, showing them. Lord forbid, it's okay to have emotions. But again, I had got a phone call, and then it's like 2 hours later. So I had to listen back to my video so that I can remember where I was. Hold on. But yeah, okay, so I was talking about feelings and emotions, and God, I feel like this is about to feel forced again. Okay, so Lord forbid, that's what I was about to say. Lord forbid if somebody show emotions, then it's going to be a problem. So this is the thing that I want to say. I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly. The very state of being alive, quote unquote, means that you feel things. You know what I'm saying? That is how we experience life, is we feel it. As far as our interaction with other people, is how our other people make us feel, how we make other people feel. So really all life is a bunch of feelings, just over and over and over again. Now I feel like there's only so many emotions and feelings that you can have, so it just depends on what makes you feel at whatever time. So to me, if you're not dealing with your feelings, you're not dealing with your life. And then I have certain people that I've talked to, and they do understand that. They understand the concept that with life, that is directly attached to emotions. That is how we exist. That's how we live our lives, is we feel it. The issue comes in that people will say, when dealing with emotions, or they always say like, what is talking about how I feel gonna actually do anything? What is that gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And I get the fact that talking about something is not the same as physically actively doing something about it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I think a lot of people fail to realize is most of the shit that we deal with, especially when it's dealing from something from the past, the feelings that we are feeling now have been created because of whatever happened. So, we're dealing with something from the past. Obviously we can't change the past because we can't go back to it, but at the end of the day, what that comes down to is that most of the time with the things that we deal with, there's really nothing that we can do to fix it, quote unquote. We can't take it back, we can't undo it, we can't redo it. You know what I'm saying? So really all that's left is to deal with how we feel about what happened. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, I understand, again, what is talking going to do. It's not going to physically change anything, but even if you don't talk, it's still not going to change anything. Like, you can't change what's already happened, but what you can do is that you can talk about it, you can process it, you can work through it, you can have support from somebody else. Because I think, to me, I believe, in my heart, that a lot of people can relate to this. But it's one thing to go through a bunch of shit and be struggling and dealing with things, and being hurt and in pain and angry and all these different things. But it's a whole nother thing when you have to deal with that, and you have to deal with that alone. That aloneness, feeling like, when you've dealt with so many things alone, it creates a lot of different other issues that are added onto that. And there's nothing wrong with feeling stuff. There's nothing wrong with, there's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being sad. Those are normal human emotions. Now, there's a difference between how you feel and how you're acting on how you feel. Two very different things. And that's one of the reasons why I say that it's important for us to be talking about how we feel, or be processing how we feel. Because when we don't do that, then we act negatively, or we act irrationally off of how we feel. Like, everybody has emotions. Where we cross the line at is when we feel something and we don't process how we feel, and then we make irrational decisions. We start hurting ourselves and other people because of how we feel. That's when we're participating in the negative reasons of why we felt angry or why we felt hurt in the first place. Now we become a product of our own environment. We have become the very people that ended up causing us the pain. And again, from my first video, it's this cycle that keeps going around, and at some point we gotta fucking stop that shit. The only way to me to really stop that is for us to really understand like who we are. And to me, like when I think about self, you know, everybody feels differently, but the feelings that we feel, the way that the things that we go through make us feel and how we react to them, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives us our individuality. You know what I'm saying? And in order to really connect with yourself and connect with other people, you have to be able to understand how you feel, why you feel the way that you feel. And then once you can do that, you can be able to understand why other people feel the way that they feel, why they respond the way that they do. And then once you start having them interactions, them connections can become stronger and you know, more fruitful and more, you know, positive. I cannot stress it enough. If we are not in a place where we can go there because we feel like I don't have emotions, I'm good, or we feel like, oh, that's some weak ass pussy shit, that's some soft ass shit, then we just gonna keep being in denial, and we're gonna keep having the same problems that we already have. And my thing is this: we have to stop being weak and trying to convince people that are actually trying to deal with their emotions, that are trying to express, that actually admit, like, bro, I might need some help. That's some strength. If somebody is just being negative around you, that's one thing. But if somebody is trying to talk and they're trying to express and they're actually trying to work through something, they're not trying to get attention, they're not trying to pity party, they're not trying to do none of that, but they genuinely just want to talk. They want advice. They want, you know, a better perspective on things. They want a different, you know, light on things. Let that person rock. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to be that person for that person, you don't want to hear that person, that's cool. But again, don't discourage somebody. And bottom line, we got to get over this whole feelings, emotions is weak shit, because to feel like that is really the weak shit. You know what I'm saying? We have created the world that we live in. We have created the way that things are. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean necessarily you specifically, but you get what I'm saying. People have created that. And at some point, some of us have to be the ones to step up, be the bigger person. And in a lot of ways, we kind of taking responsibility from all these other motherfuckers that did shit wrong in the past. But at some point, we have to be the ones to stop this cycle that's going around. And we got to cut that shit off, because it's literally like a circle. We going around and around and around in motherfucking circle. And although it may seem like different scenarios, different people, whatever, it's damn near all the same concept, same mistakes, same shit over and over again. It's like we don't never fucking learn. So we got to take this circle, we got to clip it, and then like straighten that bitch out and like go to the left or go to the right or go to the front or go some other direction. You feel me? But to me, at this point, any other direction is better than going around and around. We got to start accepting how we feel. We got to start accepting that feeling is okay. We got to start dealing with how we feel. We got to start letting other people deal with how they feel. We got to start being there for each other and letting people be there for us, because it's another thing. It's like for some reason when we really don't like to accept help. We don't even like that word help. Then like with me, certain people, I notice that they don't like when I say, bro, do you need help? I don't need help. Help? What you mean? You know what I'm saying? So then I'll try to disguise it like support. You feel me? Like we'll try to say support because that sounds a little bit better than help. But then motherfuckers start thinking like, oh, what you mean, like a crutch? You know what I'm saying? Like I need you. Like if I don't have you there and you just remove yourself, I'm just gonna fall, bro. I'm good. That creates the need of a person to say like, I'm good, bro. I don't need no help. I don't need no support. All this and that. My thing is this: there's nothing wrong with looking at what's negative when we're trying to change what's negative, because you can't change something without looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But there's a difference between sitting there and looking at it and examining it and doing something about it, as opposed to just sitting there and complaining about some shit. You know what I mean? That's negative, when we just talking about shit just to be talking about it. But yeah, so anyways, we got to really accept how we feel. We really have to embrace how we feel. We have to let other people do the same thing, and then we have to start really connecting with each other. And honestly, all of those things starts with self. It starts with self. Understanding who we are. That who we are is how we feel. How we feel, because how we feel determines how we act. How we feel determines what we say, what we do, when we do what we do, when we say what we do. That all is determined off of our feelings and off of our emotions. But at the end of the day, I just pay attention. I want to understand, because the one thing that I know for certain, without a doubt, is that I do not know everything. You know what I'm saying? I do not know everything, but because of that, that makes me want to know things. It makes me want to learn. It makes me want to understand. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that clear mind and that clear perception of, I don't know everything, but I want to know and I want to learn, I want to understand, and you understand the value of listening, of reading, of researching. You can study a person. You know, I study people's behavior. I study people, the way that people speak. I would study the way that people move. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and quote the shit, but it's something like 80% or 85% of communication is through body language, like that shows whether somebody's lying, whether they telling the truth, if they're happy, they're mad, they're sad, they're uncomfortable, they're anxious, they're angry. Those things, there's a lot of things to study about a person. All of these things encompass emotions. Again, the thing is that when you really start, sit back for a second and you really study yourself, other people, you start get a better understanding of self and other people and who those people are. And then once you can do that, that creates those connections, and it also breaks the barrier of us being able to separate the difference between feeling and action. And then when we can understand the feeling, the action becomes better. Even when we might be angry, the response of the action that's behind the feeling of anger is better, and the result that comes from that action is better. It's more healthy, it's more progressive. You get what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with feeling, but then when we put actions behind those feelings that make things worse, we going around in this cycle again. And then we end up, when we start having kids, when we start having families, we start bringing these people into this cycle. And now they're watching us. When we have kids, they're watching us. They're learning what to do. Now for me and a couple of people that I know, and I hate to say this, but I have ended up learning what not to do from the people that I was around, that I grew up around. From a lot of people, that's not how that is. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was something within me that was like, bro, this is not right. Like, this isn't right. And I don't know what it was that let me know that, because honestly, when within this fear is all that you know, and that is your reality, trying to get yourself outside of that when you've not seen anything else besides what's inside of here, that's a very difficult thing. And I don't know how I realized, like, bro, this is not right, and I went a whole nother different way. But I'm glad that I did. And again, now I'm to the point where I know I don't know everything. I study, I learn. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that I am. I feel like, I really hope that no one takes it as like, oh, I'm trying to tell you about yourself, or I'm trying to tell people how to be or how to see things. At the end of the day, it's just kind of like, these are things to me, to be perfectly honest with you, that I don't want to say they're common sense, like, oh, everybody should know this because it's common sense. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is that when you really just sit back for a second, because we going through a lot of shit, y'all. We have to work. We have to take care of our kids. If we got kids, we have our problems that we got to deal with. There's a lot of shit in life that we have to deal with. All this stuff is just extra shit that you really got to sit down and take some time to really think about, to understand. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we ain't got time for that. When we have some free time, we be about to have fun, we about to go out, do something with our people, we about to go to sleep, take a shit, wash our ass, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But this stuff is really important, y'all. Like, for real, I can't stress it enough. And no, it's not action, it's just thinking, it's processing, it's conversating. But honestly, that is what determines the actions. That's what determines what happens in our lives, what happens in other people's lives. It determines how we affect ourselves and other people. And that shit is powerful and it's important. So I hope that, again, as I continue to get into my talks more, I'm going to be, all of the stuff I'm going to be talking about is emotions, y'all. It's all feelings, because that's all that life is. And I can't reiterate that enough. So I hope that as we can get into this more, that, for the people that understand that, that's great. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we'll already be connected right there. But for the other people that might not see it in that way, I hope that y'all will be patient enough to really listen. And even though this is not literally a conversation with y'all, it is a conversation with y'all. It's like a connection of the minds. It's a connection of the thoughts. And I really hope that we can kind of connect on that level, even if you might not see exactly what I'm saying. I'm not trying to force it. I'm not trying to make you change how you view things, how you see things. But I'm just, again, it goes back to listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order for us to even be willing to try to change how we see things or understand things, we have to be willing to listen to something else. You know what I'm saying? And that takes vulnerability, because when we really listen, that means that this might actually change or affect how I feel or how I act. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when we've been through a lot of stuff, we have a tendency to try to control everything, because a lot of times when we going through stuff that is fucked up, it makes us feel out of control. It makes us feel like we don't have a handle on things. You know what I'm saying? And then we try to do things to gain that control again. Sometimes we even try to control other people just to have a sense of control within ourselves. And that ends up creating issues. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all I'm asking is for the people that are with me on the wave already. That's great. I appreciate you guys. For the people that are not, I appreciate you too, the fact that you're even listening. And I hope that we can get on the same level of where, not level, I don't like saying level because we all on the same shit, you know what I'm saying? But where we can really, start really listening to each other and understanding certain things. Because honestly, y'all, I swear, like, I cannot stress this enough. The things that I'm saying, my intention is good with what I'm saying. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live, how to think, how to feel, none of that. My intention is for us to help each other. My intention is for us to be more fruitful, for us to be happy, for us to work through our issues, for us to be at a better place in life, for us to be able to be there for ourselves and for each other better, and for our life, our overall, for our world overall to be better. And it sounds cheesy as fuck, but y'all, again, not everything is bad. It's not what I'm saying, but there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being tired. I'm sick of being angry. I'm sick of being sad. I'm sick of being irritated. I'm sick of feeling like I can't trust nobody. I'm sick of being confused and feeling lost and feeling unhappy and feeling like, damn, what the fuck is all this bullshit for? Tired of feeling like that. And no, it's not a negative thing. Yes, there are times where I feel good. Not everything is always bad, but at the end of the day, it's like a lot of the shit that's going on that I'm dealing with, that you're dealing with, that other people are dealing with, is unnecessary. It's not necessary. Shit that's going on, it don't have to be like that. So can we please just start the process of change, of things being better? I would really appreciate that. And I feel like there are a lot of other people out here that would as well, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, the only way this is going to happen is if we start coming together. And you know what, it don't got to be all of us. Some people going to be over here, they're going to be scragglers. That's fine, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it sounds weird, and I don't like using the word manipulation, but manipulation can be used in a positive way. A lot of people, they go along with fads. They see other people wearing this shoe or this shirt or this whatever, and they want to do it too now, you know what I'm saying? So if motherfuckers got to get on the wave just because everybody else is doing it, because everybody else wants to be enlightened and have a better perspective and understand more and really listen to each other and understand self and understand the other people and who they are, and these scragglers over here see other people doing that and they want to just try to do it just to see, like, oh, I want to do that too. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not doing it for a genuine reason of trying to understand and trying to do better, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose is a positive one anyways. And I feel like once people actually get to that point where they start doing it, even if it's just like fake it till you make it, the point is still you trying to make it. You feel me? You're still going to get there, even if you're faking it in the beginning just because everybody else is doing it. The reason behind it is good. And once you start doing that, once you start feeling the effects of how it feels to understand emotions more, how it feels to understand other people more, how it feels to actually have connections with people, especially when you haven't had that, when you haven't had love, you haven't had appreciation for yourself, you haven't had recognition for the person that you are, for the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Not that we do things or that we are who we are just to have recognitions, but everybody deserves to be appreciated. Everybody deserves to be recognized. Everybody deserves to have a place and a purpose. We all deserve that. You know what I'm saying? And all of that is going to stem from us being able to understand self and understand other people more. You feel me? So let's get it together, y'all. For real, like, please, I can't stress it enough. I know my videos are gonna be, they seem kind of long or whatever, but I'm gonna try really hard to kind of condense them down a little bit, and I don't want to have to chop up things too much because, like I said, a lot of things are intertwined and I want to kind of keep certain things together. But I am gonna try to edit my videos to be a little bit shorter. But if y'all could just bear with me, everything is in my head, and this talking thing is gonna take me a little while to kind of get my thoughts together and like piece them together a little bit more, you know, close together so it's not so long. So if y'all could bear with me, I really appreciate it. Again, I'm always say the same thing. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen. I really appreciate you guys. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all again soon.